Oh, the last couple of months have been somewhat overwhelming and at the same time a challenge. I'm a busy person. I like it that way. But when 3 productions went down in 1 week, actually 6 days, and I was directing 2 of them, it was a little too exciting even for me. On top of that, one of my precious tweens had 2 grand mal seizures in the space of a week, resulting in neurologist appointments, EEGs and MRIs, and finally a diagnosis of multifocal epilepsy, which is not really pleasant to read about when you Google it. We were at Disney with the kids' school having a blast when I got the diagnosis, which was hard to understand on phone voicemail when the messenger had an accent. I spent hours and hours trying to reach a person to understand the message, and when I could finally work out the words and Google, it seemed we'd hit an all-new time low. I've faced so many challenges with my new family, or new Thompsons as we call them, and seemingly we have overcome, even faced with alarming odds. My mind began to race mainly because Jada's younger sister has had 3 seizures now, and I was concerned about her. Jada was already on medicine, which was working beautifully with no side effects so far, but it was time to find out if we had any other challenges ahead. We were due to go back to the neurologist, so I made another appointment for Meg at the same time, and we went head on to either get a good report or another challenge. Lucky, there was a free appointment for an EEG at the same time, and even though the neurologist told me not to expect anything abnormal to show up on an EEG, that was not the case. Meg not only had epilepsy waves in her right temporal lobe, but had birth damage there as well. Well, I took in the news that there was a reason she'd been diagnosed with cerebral palsy as a baby. I had to chuckle because she no longer exhibits any of those signs, even if there is evidence to say it still should exist. In fact, she is in ballet, not just classes, but company to ballet. Medicine is not appropriate for Maggie at this time except for an emergency because the seizures are too far apart. But it proved to me that you can take news as devastating or as a challenge, a new way to think, and a way to find a good quality of life. We have implemented safety plans now for both of the girls, such as no swimming ever alone, something they hate, no hot tubs alone either, partners to the bathroom at school, and emergency treatment training if we're not present. While I really feel I have been thrown in yet another condition I was ignorant of and was overwhelmed, almost feeling panicked, I realise that knowledge is better than ignorance, and with that, and God, prayers and persistence, you can change your mind about whatever diagnosis you get given and change the direction of your life in an instant for the better, armed with information and a positive attitude and a positive